We have waited 15 months for this thing. Yes, the 2020 Corvette convertible is finally here. I asked you guys on Instagram and on my community page here on YouTube what you wanted to know about the 2020 Corvette convertible. I only had 72 hours with this car and you guys hit me with a lot of questions. So we're gonna answer all of those questions in this video. This is a 1LT convertible with Long Beach red metallic as the color. So they did the silver wheels as you see, and they also did the cool gray interior seats. The very first question is from Charlie Brown. He asked, can you lower the rear window when the roof is up? How's that for an answer? Not only does the window work when the top is up, but it also works when it is down as well. Ronnie asked, will the vehicle top work while you're driving? And yes, it does work while you're driving up to 30 miles per hour, which is pretty impressive if you ever get into a rainstorm, that you can put this thing up without having to stop on the side of the road. Ronnie asked a very good question. He wants to know, how does the top secure to the car? Is it manual like what it is on the Target top with the C7 and the C8? Is it automatic? Is it manual back like on the C6, C5, so on and so forth? Well, it really works like the C7 did on the last generation. Just push this down. Push this down. There we go. And you'll see and here that it locks in place, and it says folding operation is complete. All right, while I'm recording, Jackson here is bothering me because he follows me on TikTok. He wants to go for a ride in my C8. So we're gonna take a break and go for a ride. All right, we'll just get out here on the street and just we'll get this way. All right, ready? We're gonna get a little 0-60 to pull.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
79 degrees, or we're probably gonna hit 3 seconds. Pretty close, man. 3.1. Hey, so that you guys know, I've got thousands of launches in this car. Yes, I'm not exaggerating one bit. Thousands. I know this car really well. We're gonna finish this up and get into the next question on the convertible. All right, the next question comes from David here you see on the screen, and he asks, can you get a clear roof in the convertible like you can in the normal version? That would be no. It's only gonna be a hardtop convertible, which obviously you guys know, this is the first hardtop convertible in the Corvette, but I do want to talk about this a little bit. There's 3 different tops you can get from the convertible. That would be this right here, painted, body colored. You can get the nacelles right here, painted black, or you can get it all painted black. If you remember, I saw my first convertible at SEMA 2019, and I was a little confused on having that full black top, but I'll tell you what, this car with a black top or the black nacelles, you can't go wrong with either version of those 3. This next one comes from Alton.Cody on Instagram. Very good question. What happens if you try to use the top when you're over 30 miles per hour? Well, let's just try it. Top engaged. Reduce speed for top operation. This next one comes from Instagram as well, and they ask, is it worth getting a convertible over a coupe without seeing that engine? I think I have a really great opinion on this, because check this out. I love the way this looks. This looks absolutely awesome, but I'm an 80s kid. I was growing up in the 80s, and you know what we had in the 80s? Magnum PI. What did Magnum PI have? He had a Ferrari. What did that Ferrari have? It had a red engine in there. Did I ever think I'd ever own a car like that or like this? No way. Once they made this car available to the public, you definitely know that I went with the engine visible in a coupe so I could see that red engine, because it's a lifelong dream of mine. But you can't go wrong. I absolutely love this. Just like I was mentioning the black here, that's really customizable, and I love that window that I showed you earlier. This next question comes from Instagram as well, and that's a very good question. What's the visibility like in the convertible? And I'll tell you what, I don't think there's anybody better in the country that can answer a visibility question in the Corvette other than me. Over 14,000 miles on my C8, and I got it all figured out. Something the 1LT convertible gets that the 1LT coupe does not get: That's the digital rear view mirror. This thing is an absolute must. This is completely worth it. I love this mirror. You can see all the way back there. You can see my car, you can see that Buick, you can see these vehicles over here. Now, let me give you a perspective of what you just saw. You saw all of those, you saw all of that, you saw all of that. All of that stuff you saw behind you, and that is a good 25 yards away. If you use your mirrors correctly, you pretty much don't have any blind spots in this car whatsoever. There is one though, and this is the only one. Imagine the road going straight where we're at, and there's a crossroad coming at an angle this way in front of us, right? Kind of coming at our front wheel. If you have to look back that way, that right there is your blind spot. I can see out there, but I cannot see even that red S10 when I'm looking my way. So you have to lean forward to see there, but that's the only one that's ever gonna come in play, and the only time it's gonna come in play is when you have an angle crossroad. Aaron asked, how does the top work? This top is ingenious. They did a really smart and awesome thing. And that is they utilized window switches to put this down. So when I push this down, voila, the top comes down. One fell swoop. Very, very awesome, very, very sweet. The other way the top comes down is by using the key fob. You hit the unlock button, and on the bottom left there's a button. You hold that for the entire time, and that puts the top down when you are walking up to your car or within a couple hundred feet line of sight of the vehicle. Now, a lot of people ask, can you put the top up with your key fob? Nope, you can't. It's not something they do, and it's something I would imagine for safety and security. Harvey, what is wrong with you? You want to see if the convertible top has a pinch sensor. Well, I've got my tripod. We're gonna set it up and we're gonna find out. Could you guys like maybe do me a favor, please? ChevyDudeStore.com. Pick up your Chevy Dude merch because I'm gonna need it for medical bills. All right, top comes up. Top comes down. Ow, okay, that hurts. That's not pinch proof. That's not pinch proof. We're doing it again. We're doing it again. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's not pinch proof. It's not pinch proof. It's on my hand. It's on my hand. It's on my hand. Oh. All right. Oh my goodness gracious. I gotta tell you, I was acting a little bit. I think that could give me an Academy Award or a Tony or something, right? But that just proves the point that it is not pinch proof in either section, here or up here. I did this for you guys, so don't do this at home. And this is an obvious reason why you can't put it up with the key fob, because something can happen. That was tilting a little bit on there, but I was watching it, I was being careful and making sure nothing was gonna happen bad to the car. So yeah, don't try this at home. Don't do it. Cut your fingers off. This next one comes from YouTube, and they're basically asking what the wind noise is like in the convertible. So we're gonna practice with the window up, with the window down, and then also I've got a lot of experience with the Coupe, with the top off, top on, windows up, windows down, all that good stuff. So I'll be able to tell you very well what it's like as well. So I've put a little over 3 miles on the car with the top down. I've moved that window back there up and down, and really, to be honest with you, I can't tell the difference between a coupe and convertible. It's really amazing on what GM has done with this car. One thing I can't test out is what my hair does when that window is up and down. I don't have the hair to test it out, but we're having a good conversation in here, and you can't tell any difference between with the top up or the top down. So one thing you got to remember is this digital rear view mirror that comes on it. I was like sitting here, is like, why is this not working? Please work. What's going on? I'm thinking I broke something. Well, yeah, that's because the camera is underneath there, and I forgot, and you can't really see anything there. So that's a drawback. Back to my blind spot, is it is tough to see back there. So just remember that. This one comes from Instagram, and it was on Instagram and on YouTube question. So Benjamin, you're the lucky one that I put up on the screen. So the biggest question is, what is the weight difference between the coupe and the convertible? I reached out to a bunch of my state cop friends because they're the ones who usually have mobile scales. And I really wanted to do it at the dealership because I can't really drive this to like a cat scale or a dump or, you know, any type of weight stations, right? So we're just gonna have to go off of what General Motors says, and that's this car weighs about 102 pounds heavier. The curb weight for the coupe is 35.35, and this one is 3637. Wrecker asks, is there any differences in the cab configuration of the car? The answer is no, and I want to go into a little bit more depth on this. I'm sitting in a 1LT, don't have a lot of 1LT seat time because my car is a 3LT, but I do want to say this. This is the passenger seat of a C8. I cannot do this in a C7. I would be like this and like scrunched in a C7. This thing, I can relax, I can stretch my feet out. I'm 6'3" and I wear size 15 shoes. This is a really great question, and I got the handy dandy tape measure out for this one. I saw this on the internet with people saying that this trunk space is much smaller back here compared to the coupe. Well, we're about to find out. We're gonna go from rubber gasket to rubber gasket. Let's just say 18 inches. Rubber gasket to rubber gasket, we're 22 inches, but you can't really use that part. Ooh, just under 16 inches. So it looks like the coupe has got less than the convertible. Let's check this out again. Let's go from there to there. Oh, it's about the same, guys. So there's your answer on that. But there is a slight difference in it. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but there is some difference there. This is the convertible and this is the coupe. And we need to pay attention from here forward. Coupe. This question here is a really good one as well because it asks, what is the heat difference here with the top down? Now this car has been running for 36 minutes. So let's put this top up and find out if that part right there is warm or not. All right, no heat at all, zero heat. We're gonna test under here. So I put my hand underneath there and underneath there. There is zero engine heat on that at all. Very minimal heat here. So you guys also asked what it looked like underneath with the convertible top. So this is really cool. These mechanisms here are really, really wild. Check those out. That's very cool. And there's a couple access compartments up here that I'm gonna show you here in a second, but this is a really interesting too. So that's where all of your heat extraction comes out of, and really weird to see that air box from the back. Over on the passenger side, we have a compartment right here, so that way you can get to your coolant, and this compartment right here, how ingenious, so you can get to your oil. When I opened that up, there was a lot of heat that just came out of there, guys. So it's hot under there, just like the coupe, but it doesn't come through right here. So this right here is actually warmer than that side over there. So really, really interesting. So if you want to access this, you got to take all of these screws off, which I'm not going to do. It's just an engine under there. We know what it looks like. All right, this is the money question, right? This is what we all want to see on the convertible top. What is the time for this convertible top to go all the way down? And I'm going to use my stopwatch. I'm going to use the key fob as well. So as soon as I hit this button down here, after I hit the unlock button, I'm going to start the timer. 18.19 seconds, not too shabby. Those are just some of the questions you guys asked on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm sorry I can't get to all of them, but I will in a future video. If you've got questions, throw them in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So until then, you guys are gonna have to watch a couple more of my other videos. There's one right here and this one right here. This one's probably a little bit better, but you better click them right now because this video is done.